Yo, what's good? This is Derek Minor, and you're tuned in to New Music Friday.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to New Music Friday. I'm Rashad Milligan. Today we are joined by a very, very special guest. We have Mr. Derek Minor in the building. Derek, how you feeling, man?
Man, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I heard it. New album out this week.
Yeah,
Nobody's perfect, man. I guess just how does it feel to finally get this piece of work out to the masses?
I'm not gonna lie. It was an exhausting piece to make in a good way. So I'm excited to be able to celebrate the wins and everything, man. So it's a beautiful piece of art. Like I love that I was able to put this out.
No, 100%, 100%. And just looking at even the singles and stuff like that, and the overall theme of this album of just like kind of mental health and things of that nature. I guess just uh, how was that for you to be vulnerable in a studio, everything like that? Because you're, what I'm saying, yes, you are under what people would put you under CHH, but like you're like the artist of like the Fuse and everybody who's just like turn up, turn up, turn up. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
you love God, but you turn up,
Right.
but to make that kind of vulnerable side to show that and still have that turned sound, I guess, kind of just how was that entire creation process for you?
I think I would like to think that my claim to fame has always been my ability to be vulnerable and also to say things that a lot of people think but won't say. Like I feel like I get a chance to speak for people that don't have a microphone. So this was no different. It was just where I was at in life. And I've always looked at my music as an opportunity to tell people what I've learned. You know, I think some people think that it's about telling people what they should do. And it's like, nah, that's not my philosophy. My philosophy is just tell people what I've learned and then you take from it what you can get out of it.
No, 100%. And I believe it was the It's Okay video where you had the therapy session with the guys from the Track Stars. Shout
Yeah,
outs to the Track Stars, all my guys over there.
yeah.
Just like in real life, just how is I guess what part has therapy played in your life? Like how has that made you better? How, just what effect did that have?
Yeah, I went through a season where I was really tapped in with a therapist and it was good to be able to talk to somebody that you don't know without judgment. Cause I think sometimes like I have friends that I could talk to and they won't judge me, or at least I feel like they won't. But the awkwardness of talking to somebody you know about deep and personal things, sometimes a therapist with somebody that doesn't know you, that there's no social anxiety with talking about that. I think that's helpful for sure.
No, 100%. It's like you said, if it's something extremely personal, like if you're talking about something of uh feelings, for example.
Yeah,
For the single people out there, had to put that disclaimer. For the
yeah,
single people out there who, might be talking about feelings and it's like between two parties and, your friend knows both the people involved, like
right,
it's just, you don't want to say all that stuff,
right,
man.
right. Or if you were talking about an uncle or an aunt, if you say like I could keep it real with my mom. Me and my mom had a realist talks, right? But I know if I have to talk to her about how I really feel about something that may have happened when I was younger, her first thought is to be defensive. You know what I'm saying? And that's a natural human thought. That's not that she's not an amazing mom and that I can't talk to her. But it'll take a lot more work to get from point A to point B as opposed to talk to somebody that I don't know and they can give me even a more rational and logical approach to how I should look at my emotions.
Someone down the middle, pretty much.
Exactly.
I got you. I got you. So, I guess even kind of going from there, I guess just like what what does this project mean to you to kind of get out that thing? Because obviously mental health has been a big thing the past few years, especially since the pandemic hit 2020. But just for you, what does this particular project mean for you for to get out that message for Black men and their mental health?
So what I found, as big of a topic as mental health is, and I don't know if this falls under that same category, but I think a big epidemic or issue that doesn't get enough attention is emotional health. Like, and I don't know if that's under mental health umbrella. I'm not a mental health professional in no shape, form, or fashion, but I know with myself, I didn't know what to do with my emotions, the good ones and the bad ones, right? And what I found that I did oftentimes was the good emotions, I tried to rush through 'em, and the bad emotions, I sat in them a lot longer than I should have. And I think that that is why this album, Nobody's Perfect, is important because one, a lot of the frustration from my emotions was I was expecting perfection out of everyone else and myself, and that's just a endless cycle of being let down. Period. Like you're just going to be in an endless cycle of being let down, and I had to come to grips that actually nobody is perfect, not even myself. So then, what's on the other side of that is grace. I can have grace on other people and grace on me.
Bro, that is so huge right there because I felt like I had a little moment like that this weekend. And it's like it's crazy because like you hear that all your life and stuff of like no one's perfect and comparison. You hear all these cliches throughout life, but it's like when you really sit down sometimes and you find yourself like just being a normal human and falling into that fleshly thing of just like I wasn't good enough for this because I didn't have this or this or that, and then you think about it and then you're like, man, nobody is perfect. You have to remind yourself and have those kind of like sit downs and stuff. I want to ask you about one of the singles, Pressure, the one with Aaron Cole, everything like that.
Yeah.
Um, just talking about like being Christian men, or just being men, I guess, in a traditional sense, if for everybody else, is you put the entire responsibility of the household on your shoulders. Even as a kid in black households, to be specific, if someone is out or someone's out of town, like the moment you become old enough to work, you got to shoulder that load. You got to
It's
take out the trash.
on.
You got to do the
Right.
heavy lifting.
It's
Uh,
on.
TV need to go up. That's on
Right.
you. 15, 16, all the way up for the rest of your life. I
Right.
guess just how do you deal with those stressors, or with that pressure? I don't even want to use the word stress, but like how do you deal with that pressure as a man to kind of carry everybody on your back, as you mentioned in that single?
Man, sometimes I'm better at it than other times, and I think that that's the first step is knowing that some days you're gonna be able to shoulder that pressure, and it's gonna be nothing. It's gonna feel like carrying a feather, and then some days it could be the smallest pressures, and it's gonna feel like you carrying a brick, a ton of bricks or cinder blocks on your back. So I think that just knowing the only way to carry any pressure is to have the mental aptitude to be able to process your emotions, to get through them, and to be able to think logically, and to be able to think with the clear mind. So that's what I feel like when I'm carrying pressure the best is when my mind is the most clearest. Like when my mind is the most clearest, when I'm the most focused, when I'm giving grace to myself and giving grace to others, that's when I feel like I'm able to carry that pressure more. Um, so yeah,
And that's something that I kind of want to follow up on. Just speaking of family, do you have any children?
yeah. I got a wife. I got two kids, 9 year old and
Okay.
11 year old. Yep.
So salute, salute, salute. So I
Yeah.
just wanted to ask you, with on those days where it's like, the smallest thing feeling like a break, like how do you hold yourself together for the children, like in front of the children? Because like, you know, I think obviously, yeah, beforehand as a single bachelor, everything like that, like you can snap sometimes and you
Yeah.
can like, ah,
Yeah.
oh man,
Yeah.
today is so stressful. But
Right.
like,
Right.
as a father and a husband, you can't do that in front of the children. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, I guess like in those moments in front of the kids, how do you kind of pull it together until you can go to your pillow and like, yeah.
So I would adjust that. I wouldn't say that you can't do that. I would say that you should try not to, because
Ooh.
the truth of the matter is that you're a human all the time. You're always a human in front of the kids, not in front of the kids, right? So what I've done, I talk to my kids like me and you talk. I try to keep it as real as possible. And it ain't nothing more humbling than apologizing to a 5-year-old. And I think that that's that's the truth. We lose it. You know what I mean? And I think that when we're ignorant to the fact, like what those moments when I've broken down in front of my family, what that makes me say is, okay, one, I need to figure out how to not let this happen again. Right? I need to figure out how to make this happen less frequent. Because early on, when I was a younger father and a younger husband, I had a lot of, emotional breakdowns and blogs. Not as many now, and it's because I've gotten better. But also in that time when I do make those mistakes, I've also apologized to my family. I apologized to my kids no matter how old they were. When they were able to process and understand, hey, daddy was yelling too much at you. I shouldn't have yelled at you like that. I apologize, son. Like, I want to model out what it means, because I don't want my kids to think my dad never cried, my dad never was mad. Like, nah, because that sets a false expectation of what their life is going to be like.
No, and 100%. And like, like I guess how is it kind of raising the son, especially today, these days? Because you do, I feel like with us being so kind of more in tune and more hip to mental health and everything like that, it's like I feel like men's feminine energy is kind of publicly socially accepted a little more.
Yeah,
I feel like in general, like the world is a little more kind of liberal. We speak about being separate from the world, but same,
sure.
we're here. Um, so how is that kind of balancing out of like, you know, this is what the man needs to be, but also like it's okay to be vulnerable and show these things. Like, how is that balancing act of teaching your son? I guess even as you're trying to learn it too yourself.
Absolutely. Well, I think the idea of being vulnerable, being feminine is a mistake, because even Jesus was vulnerable, right? Like you see,
Yeah, Jesus wept.
Jesus wept, he cried. You know what I'm saying?
Jesus was
Jesus,
scared.
he got angry,
Yeah,
right? He got angry and whooped people in the temple, right? So even if we talking about that, or even if you just look at in general, like, men are only told that masculinity is the most toxic and or most aggressive parts of us, that's what being a man is. I literally had an OG. This is a older brother. He's probably, I think he's 65. We were sitting down chilling, having coffee, and he told me, he said, the thing you're gonna use the least as you get older is your ability to power through stuff. He says the older you get, the more you're gonna realize that your muscles are the least valuable part about you. It's your emotional intelligence. It's your wisdom. It's those things. He's like, that's what manhood, when you start walking in that's manhood. He said the other part, when you immature, you want to muscle your way, fight your way through everything. He's like, that's not what manhood is as you progress, though.
yeah. Run that back one more time, one more time, man. Because folks need to hear that one more time.
He said, as a younger man, like, he tried to fight his way and muscle his way through everything, but as he got older, he realized that your muscles and your aggression is probably the least valuable part of you. The thing that's the most valuable is your wisdom. It's going to be your emotional intelligence. It's going to be those things. He's like, that's going to solve more problems for you than your muscles.
Man, that's crazy. That's crazy right there. So I guess just even going back to for the project, more on the way. I really like
Yeah.
that song right there. I like, kind of everything that Few got going. Like, I don't know, like Few is just like he's been a breath of fresh air for the past, kind of 6 years. And like everybody kind of under him of like this new wave and stuff that we see. I feel like Few in a way kind of like was like a face, you know what I'm saying, of that. Like
Sure.
how you feel about just Few in general, and then how that record came together.
Yeah, he one of my favorite rappers. Like, I love the fact I've been knowing Few before he was 1K Few. He used to go by Future Kid. And yeah, so I remember he was Future Kid. He actually drove from Atlanta to my crib. We had a song that was gonna go on Empire, but it just never the song didn't make it. It was a fire song, it just didn't make it. But so we finally got to link up on this record. And man, this I just thought, who else to talk about more being on the way than somebody like Few? Cause he's so positive. His outlook is so positive on life. Like it's like I knew he was gonna give something powerful to people.
Yeah, no, no, 100%, 100%. And you know, like I guess just I'm trying to see everything else but before we go to like the overall thing. Okay, so we'll go to the overall thing now. I guess just overall overview of the project, you know, kind of what is your favorite song so far? And you know, does it change every week? And if so, like what's your favorite song right now at the moment off the project?
Man, it changes time in and time out. But I think my favorite record is probably my most personal, which is Hallelujah, the first song on the project. And it's just because I really the way that song came about was crazy. So I'm on tour and I was touring the project before it came out, just letting people listen to it and all of that stuff. And I get an email that says the sample that I wanted to use wasn't going to be cleared. So I'm touring. There's a whole nother intro for this album that'll never see the light of day because of sample clearance. So I'm in Brooklyn. Oh no, I'm in the Bronx. I'm in the Bronx, New York. And I just get this melody in my head. And I send a voice memo to my partner, Quentin. And I told him I wanted to feel like Queen. And he sends me back this crazy thing with these guitars. And while I'm on going from show to show, from airport to airport driving, I'm just thinking of bars in my head. And when I come home, I literally record everything just to that first choir intro. Like no drums, no nothing. And then I started adding drums around it. So that's one of my favorites because it's just the way that it came about. It came out of adversity. Um, so yeah, Hallelujah is the one.
No, I heard it. I heard it. We only have a few minutes left, so I do want to get into some other stuff.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about, you know, your streams where you do the production, everything like that on live and stuff. I want to ask you like kind of uh like what do those streams kind of do for you? Like, you know, like what kind of outlet is that for you? And then, you know, what do you think is the importance of what would I want to? I wanted to ask the importance of like having those different avenues of streams of income and stuff
Yeah.
as artists, and you know, adapting to the times.
So I read a book by this artist. I read a book by an author named Austin Kleon. You should check it out. His name. It's called Show Your Work. And his whole thing is, as an artist, some things that we do that is amazing because it's natural to us. We don't realize how amazing it is until we show others. Like you're a journalist. You don't realize how amazing it is to do what you do. But to somebody like me, it's like wizardry. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to, I like to tap in with my audience and just kind of give them another piece of me that's besides the curated piece that you get with the final product, you know?
And then how important is that to like, you know, I don't know, still be like dipped into other things, because like even though like that's what you're doing for the fans and stuff, it's like you're staying with the times. Like 2023, like rappers are Twitch streamers. They're like, you know,
Yeah.
YouTube streaming, all that. Like, you know, like what is the importance of like picking up on these trends and staying up with them and stuff?
My philosophy is this: if you want to do music and be in the music business, you can't do what you want to do. You have to do what's effective. So, it's real easy for me to sit up here and say, well, I'm gonna try to put albums out like 2010, but it's not 2010 no more. And a lot of times people try to do that and they get 2010 results. And it's like, well, bruh, that's not where people at right now. I'm at where the people at. I don't care where they at. As long as I'm doing this, I'm gonna be where they at. And I think that that's the philosophy. So if they twitching or they switching or whatever it is they doing, I'm there. You know what I mean? I'm where the people at.
Twitching and switching is hilarious.
It's hilarious.
I want to go to one of the age old CHH interview topics that always come in with the CHH. So
I'm
yeah,
ready. I
here you
already know
go.
the answer.
I'm just preparing you. I'm just preparing you. This isn't some creative thing. This is something
Right.
CHH artists argue all the time.
Uh-huh.
So Foggy Raw,
Uh-huh.
CHH artist, Christian rapper.
Gotcha.
You know, he's been doing this thing for a while now, for a few years. I say probably 2017 when he first popped,
Right.
from the DMV, from Maryland. Um, he really, you know, been doing this thing online for the past few years, independent.
Mhm.
Had his first kind of, you know, little taste of mainstream success about a couple months ago, a month or two ago, when he
Mhm.
did this song called Psalm 62. And it's a
Yeah,
freestyle over Alicia Keys, You Don't Know My Name. He went
yeah,
to
love
Twitter.
that song.
Yeah, he went to Twitter, posted it. You don't know my name. Twitter tag Alicia Keys. Let's get this thing up. Alicia approved it, and
Right,
he met her, and that's how the song kind of blew up on a mainstream level.
right,
So, with when he officially released it, he put out verse 2 on it. Verse 2, Foggy's cussing, and it's not no the clean cussing you can say on TV. It's the
right,
harsh cussing. And
right.
people with the song name being Psalm 62 and Foggy, putting it out to the world, he's a Christian and everything like this. He's been doing it for years. The Christian community has been having a little debate on Christian rappers cursing in their music.
Oh, okay.
That
I didn't know.
there,
I didn't notice where we was going, but let's
that,
go.
that-
I'm
that's
ready.
where I'm going with it.
Okay, I'm
So,
ready.
so now I want to ask you, Derek, where do you see on that, and even on a song like where the song name is after a Bible chapter, like just I guess where do you stand with that?
I'm indifferent, quite honestly. I see both sides. I could see why somebody would be offended, um, offended, or because it's odd, right? You have most of the time when you see Bible stuff happening, you kind of see it in church, and that's a cuss free zone, right? But at the same time, he's an artist and he's being creative, and I personally don't think that cursing in and of itself is a sin. I think it's how you use the words. And again, the words that we look at as cuss words today didn't even exist back when the Bible was written. And we know the Bible is the standard for what's a sin or not a sin. So it's not that actual words are outlined or outlawed via sin. It's how you use the word. What's the purpose of the word? And as a creative, he decided to use those words to get a meaning across. That's between him and his art and God. Like, so for me, I'm always of the opinion, if you don't like it or if that's not where you at, just don't listen to it. It's not even that deep. You know what I mean? And I don't have any desire to go in and correct no grown man on how they should be speaking. So that's where I stand on that every time.
Derek, we appreciate the time so much, man.
Yeah.
Let's get back into it. What's oh no. You already said it. I was about to say, like, what was the first record people should hear? Well, the first record is the first song, and
Right.
it's also your favorite song at the moment. So I guess it's hallelujah. But nobody's perfect, man. What do you want people to take away from it? We already kind of spoke on it, everything like that, but just pardon shot. What do you want people to take away from this project?
Man, I want you to listen to this album and I want you to feel like a human for 35 minutes. I want you to have space. I want this album to be your quiet space and let somebody talk some life and some truth into you. That's the point of the whole album.
I also before we do still have a couple of minutes left. You really plugged in. I really like just kind of your ear and stuff like that. Who else you listening to right now? Who else you digging right now?
Man, so it's this artist I just found on TikTok named Jeff. Dude is crazy. If y'all get a chance, check out Jeff. I'm definitely a Ben Riley fan. I mean, I'm sure he's in Atlanta. Yeah, I'm a Ben Riley fan.
You Derek. Cause you be saying some things sometimes, and I'm like, how is he? Bro, Ben Riley is like, that's underground. Like, that's like Ben
Yeah.
Riley. I see Joe go, oh, what's good, bro? The gas station. Like, the fact that you know who that is
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
All right, continue.
Yeah, I'm a Ben Riley fan. Yeah, I love Ben Riley. And then there's another dude up in Jersey named Trevor Spitter. He's super dope.
I know Trevor. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
Trevor.
So yeah, I'm tapped in. I'm a dog. I'm an underground artist at heart. Like that's me. Like I love that. But and then obviously, I'm gonna have to ride with the home team, Byron Jawan. He got records that's going crazy right now. So he's doing his thing. Who else am I listening to right now? I'm all over the place though, man. Like I just was listening to some jazz, Freddie Hubbard. I often go back because that's what me and my dad used to do. We would listen to jazz records. So if you listen to the pockets that's on my albums, they're syncopated, and it's because I grew up listening to all types of different music. But I'm all over the place, bro.
Well, I appreciate it so much, Derek Miner. Nobody's perfect on all streaming platforms right now. You can follow Derek at the Derek Miner on everything
Yeah, that's it. Everything. Yep.
at the Derek Miner. That's one word on everything. And make sure you support all that good stuff. Derek, we appreciate the time. Thanks for stopping by.
Respect, homie.
All right, until next time, I'm Rashad Milligan for New Music Friday. Please take care of yourselves.